the sessions that we do, these Zooms that we do on a Wednesday, they're not designed for me. They're absolutely designed for you. And so as we go through the presentation, please make sure you ask any questions that the presentation triggers, or things you wanted to know that aren't answered in the presentation. Anything that you get whatsoever, please tap the screen. There's a chat facility, put your question in there, and I'll pick all those questions up with William at the end of the session. So please don't forget to use that facility, because it's important at the end of this, you get out exactly what you want from it. So you've all joined this morning for the Scenic and Emerald presentation. You can see William there with his amazing background. I will say that before he put that background on, he was had his little picture of him and Jane McDonald on one of their river ships, which is very nice. But he'll probably touch on that at some point during his presentation.
No, too shy.
No, I'm sure you won't mention it. It's funnily enough, again, before we joined this, William's worked for the company for a long time, and I said to him, it is it not, the most exciting time ever you've had in the 13 years you've had the business? It's the most exciting time it's ever been. And he said, yes, it absolutely is. And I think, you know, hopefully by the end of the presentation, you too will be blown away with the product quality that Scenic and Emerald now have, and all the new things that they've got launching. And at the same time, we also last week launched a special offer for 2 for 1 on river cruising on some of their departures. And that again has been unbelievably busy and successful, because it is a genuinely amazing offer. But let's have a look first at the amazing quality of both Scenic and Emerald. So without further ado, I'll pass over to you, mate, and you and Jane McDonald.
Yeah, all right. And can you hear me all right? Because you were breaking up there a wee bit, Miles.
No, I can hear you perfectly.
Great. And do you want me to hide the video boxes just now and then bring them back up, or?
Yes,
is that how it works? Or?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
just go full screen on the video if you like.
Yeah, I'll do that. How's that? Can you see that? That's it. All good? Yep. Okay, let's go for it. So welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us today. As Miles has said, I've been with the Scenic and Emerald Cruises for 13 years, and I worked in Australia for half of that. So yeah, I know the company very well, and I know the Glenn and Karen, who are the owners, very well. So it's a private family-owned company, which is great. So we really design things around their ideas and everything, and it works really well. So I'm going to talk about Scenic River Cruising first, and then Emerald River Cruising, and then we'll mention the really special offers that we have just now. So Scenic is fully inclusive. I'll talk about that shortly. And river cruising is all about seeing things. Now, I used to be a coach driver in Europe many years ago, and it was, you were in and out your suitcase every couple of days. But with river cruising, you unpack once. And I think that's a big point for many people when they travel on a river cruise, and you get to see things so close at hand. This is the Moselle River, just you'll cross from the Rhine River, beautiful, all the vineyards, etc. So really gorgeous. And there's a lovely picture of one of our ships, Scenic Crystal, take up to 159 passengers. It depends on the river and how many people they will take on board. 84% of them are balcony. And this is the wonderful little village of Dürnstein, which is on the Danube. And that's one of the highlights for many when they do the lower Danube from Regensburg down to Budapest. And that's where Richard the Lionheart was imprisoned after the Crusades, up in the castle there. What a gorgeous town to walk around. So if you're going to do that part of the Danube, have a wee wander around Dürnstein. It really is quite a special place. So I'm going to have a look around the suites with you, and this gives you an idea. We have a thing called the Scenic Sun Lounge. This is a balcony area you can sit out on, and beautiful beds as well. People want to buy the beds after our river cruises because they're so comfortable. We call them the Scenic Slumber Bed, and they're very, very popular. And in your suites is a standard suite. So this is a non-balcony. So if you're going for the lead-in price, this is always the standard suite. So it's a fixed window, but everything else in there, all en suite, water provided, mini bar included daily as well. So you can have your favorite tipple put in there. If you like a certain type of wine, we will put that in there for you. If you don't drink, then Coca-Cola or orange juice, etc. So all that there for you. Safe is in there as well, all lovely en suite. And a pillow menu, so you can actually choose the pillow style that you would like for your cruise. So this is moving up to balcony suite. As you can see, it is quite a bit of difference, especially for viewing. Great for photography because that window goes up and down at the outside there in the balcony. You press a button and the glass partition comes up and down. And you can separate the balcony from the suite inside with a door that comes along, which is behind the curtain. You have a great TV system as well, GPS activated. You know exactly where you are. And there is the Parliament building in Budapest outside. That's one of the classic views in the wonderful city of Budapest on the Danube. And the beds can also go into twin share as well. And we also provide water. Also, you have the lovely Royal Panorama Suite. So there is different categories. You've got the Royal Suite as well. So these are very spacious and beautiful, lovely porthole there. Bottle of champagne on arrival, a nice bowl of fruit as well to make you feel lovely and healthy. So really beautiful suites. Butler service as well for all guests. I'll talk about that shortly. So this is also the Royal Owners Suites, and you can see you've got the beautiful bath there, separate shower in there as well, living area, and then that lovely balcony area outside also. And there's another, sorry, it's just flicking on. So Crystal Dining is your main dining on board. So this is where the main restaurant is. Breakfast, lunch and dinner will be served here. Great big windows as well to sit at there. You can also have Moe champagne at breakfast if that takes your fancy. So, and there's a great omelette station there as well. I recommend if you like your eggs, the great omelette, the chef will cook that in front of you. So that is all included in the price, all your dining as well. You'll get your drinks with your lunch and dinner also. They also have portobellos. Now this is at the very front of the ship, and this is a speciality evening. It's round about 6 courses, and they pair the wine and the food together, up to 30 at a time in here. And it's a really nice occasion. So you'll get in here once or twice during the cruise. And it's another thing that people ask very often is, what is the dress code on board? I think this really gives a good idea of what people are wearing of an evening. But otherwise it's quite a casual cruising holiday. And then you also have Table the Reeve. This is for the Diamond Deck guests. And this is a degustation where they'll also match the wine and the food, and they'll come out and talk about it. The chef will come out, and it's all about the local cuisine in that area. And then the River Cafe, this is a lovely area. This is open most of the day. And then you can graze here. You can have like pizzas and cakes. I'm getting hungry already. You can have all those wonderful things. And they also do packed lunches here as well. So a really nice area. And it's just a casual place to spend time. Lovely coffee and tea making facility, machines as well at the back of the lounge when you're on board. And meals in the evening start round about 7:30 p.m. and you usually go down to the restaurant after the tour director does a speech. Wellness area, so wellness is chargeable, so you will pay for spa treatments. So that is in your suite. You'll get a price list for that. And so you can choose to decide. If you're going to book that, I would get it done as soon as possible because they do tend to fill up quite quickly. And then you have the lovely sun deck. So this is a great area. Most of the ships now have this vitality pool. It's a lovely place to sit around and relax and talk and meet new friends. There's a walking track up there. They do yoga upstairs and Pilates, that type of stuff as well. And you can see you're looking at things all the time as you're traveling along. And that's one of the big benefits of river cruising. So as I mentioned, all inclusive. We also do door-to-door transfers as well from house to airport within a 75-mile radius. All your flights are included. If you're down in the London area, not too far from London, you can do the Eurostar on certain itineraries as well. So you can do that. Some people don't like to fly, so that option's there, especially on the south of France or northern France itineraries or on the Rhine as well. Laundry is done for you once a week also. That's always good. So you don't have to worry about any of that. So that's their butler service for all guests. So they will come and look after you. They'll bring you tea and coffee in the morning if you would like. So they'll restock your minibar. If you've got any questions about the areas that you're going to be traveling in, they'll do everything to help you. So it is a wonderful service, and it scores really highly for us, when we get our feedback. Now, entertainment on a river ship is not big Caribbean, Royal Caribbean, or a celebrity. It's quite low key, but it fits into the local environment that you're traveling through. So for example, in Hungary, we would bring on a Hungarian gypsy troupe like we have here. And you can get up and have a dance in the lounge area and really join in. And there's a resident musician also on board. And then we also have Scenic Culinaire. So we have cooking classes, which are extremely popular, especially in the south of France, the Bordeaux region. And these are great. And then you can also do an excursion where you go shopping with the chef into the local market, buy the produce, come back and do a cooking class. And a very, very big highlight, that one as well. And then we have the GPS device. So this is really popular. We have some on board, but we're moving towards the phone now. So you get an app before you go, and that app you download that, you take it on board. And if you're sitting on your balcony or on the sun deck, you can switch that on. It's GPS activated. It will tell you where you are, tell you the history of the area you're traveling through. And also, if you want to go and do your own thing and not join one of the excursions, it will do you a walking tour around one of the towns that we visit along the way. So extremely popular. It also knows where the ship's docked. So if you get lost, it will help you get back to the ship. So you never feel as if you're never going to get back on board. Electric bikes on most of the ships, except the Portugal or Russia. But all electric bikes, and there's 30 of them. You can take these off and do your own thing, maybe along the Danube or something like that. I'll play a little video very shortly now to show you a little bit more about some of the excursions. And we also have some bike routes on the little app as well, so you can go that. And we also have some guided bike tours, and these bikes are electric, so it really makes a difference if you're not great at cycling. But we have Scenic Free Choice. This is all your tours, all included with Scenic. And I'm going to play you a little video to show you some of the free choice activities that we offer.
Scenic has handpicked the best activities that Europe has to offer and has included them in our Scenic Free Choice selection. Scenic Free Choice is a diverse selection of activities that we offer to you in key cities and regions, allowing you to enjoy what interests you most at a pace that suits you most, from relaxed to active. You will appreciate the range of activities that Scenic Free Choice provides. While cruising from Amsterdam to Budapest, from the German port of Passau, you can choose to visit Salzburg, Austria, setting of the Sound of Music and the birthplace of Mozart, or choose a full-day excursion to the beautiful World Heritage listed town of Český Krumlov, one of the best preserved Gothic towns in Europe. In the Austrian town of Melk, you can choose to explore the spectacular 18th century Benedictine Abbey.
It stopped
Or
my
if you're
end.
feeling more active, take a guided cycling tour. In the city of Lyon, you can choose to explore this beautiful town by bike, visit a traditional silk factory, the medieval village of Pérouge, or tour the exclusive Paul Bocuse Culinary School. With over 100 scenic free choice activities on offer, there really is something for everyone. And because your free choice activities are included, there is nothing more to pay. So you're free to choose what interests you most. Experience Europe your way.
So as you can see, there's lots of choices there. Now, one of the things you will notice if you look online or in the brochures, there's usually 3 standards, usually an easy paced one, a moderate, and an active pace. So you can choose what you want to do. So it's all there for you, all that information. and the team at Miles Morgan can assist you further. We also have included Scenic and Rich. These are special events. I'm going to play a short video again to show you that. One of my highlights is in Vienna when we go to the Palais Liechtenstein and we do a wonderful classical concert of an evening, and it shows you a little bit about this in the video.
At Scenic, we know that once-in-a-lifetime experiences are made up of unforgettable moments that enrich you. So on every Scenic River cruise, we have meticulously planned extraordinary events. And we have gained privileged access to some of the most spectacular locations across Europe. These experiences are called Scenic and Rich. Step back in time for a night of medieval entertainment at the spectacular 12th century Marksburg Castle. Be invited into one of Vienna's grandest residences, the Palais Liechtenstein, and delight in an unforgettable evening of music, opera, and ballet. The oldest Baroque residence in the Upper Rhine, Rastatt Palace, is a setting for a superb classical concert in the opulent ballroom. In the south of France, be treated to an exceptional gala event at Palais du Pape in Avignon. All included when you cruise with Scenic. Exclusive and created just
so
for
as you can see, some great highlights. So the rivers that we do, one of the most popular is the Douro, down there from Porto all the way along to the Spanish border. We have the Bordeaux region, all about the food and the wine and just all the chateaus. It's absolutely beautiful. A one that not so many people know about is Paris to the Channel, to a town called Honfleur. So beautiful, all about Monet and the beautiful gardens that you'll see. And yeah, the ship actually goes past Rouen. A lot of ships can't navigate by there, but the Scenic Gem will be able to navigate by there and take you right towards the Channel. Not to see a bit of history of the Somme, you know, from the First World War. Amsterdam down to Basel, another really popular itinerary as well. That's a 7-night. There is a longer version which will go into the Moselle, which I mentioned at the start of the presentation. Amsterdam down to Nuremberg, and then you can go from Passau to Budapest. There's lots of different itineraries, and Miles Morgan Travel can go over that with you, all the different ones. Budapest down to the Black Sea as well, the Black Sea Explorer. What a wonderful itinerary that is, taking you right down to the mile zero. It's all about bird life and everything down there. Some great cities along the way. Budapest is absolutely iconic. Not on those really special deals at the moment. We do have 2 itineraries in Russia. I was lucky enough to do Russia a couple of times with Scenic now, and it's a fantastic destination. Moscow, St. Petersburg, or you can do Moscow to Volgograd, or better known as Stalingrad. So just to finish off on Scenic, one of the big highlights for us is we have the docking rights across from the Parliament building in Budapest, and that is your view from the bar or the sun deck of an evening. So it is absolutely stunning. And another highlight, it was mentioned in the video, is this is the town of Avignon, and that is the Palace of the Popes in the distance, and that's where we have a meal of an evening in there with Scenic, classical evening. And Scenic also has coaches as well that follow the ship, so their own coaches, and that's how we take you out on a lot of the day trips. Great view of the ship coming into dock. That's how close you get to the wonderful town of Avignon. So we have these great ultra inclusive offers at the moment with Miles Morgan Travel, and it's two guests cruise for the price of one. Got to be booked by 31 March, but I would recommend getting onto that much quicker. Just some idea on what we're offering just now. Gems of the Danube, you're looking at for 3320. So there's lots of different ones. The Jewels of Europe, which is Amsterdam all the way down to Budapest, 4895 per couple. So there's some great deals out there just now. South of France, another great one. And then the 11-day flavors of Bordeaux, which really gets into that part of the south of France as well. I've also lots of Roman architecture, etc., if you want to see all that as well. So really stunning. And there's city add-ons as well. Don't forget, you can maybe add on Nice in the south of France. You could add on Madrid. You could add on Paris. All these different city extensions, and that can be, we can find that out for you. So let's go over Emerald Cruises, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. So Emerald started in 2014. So Glenn and Karen thought, well, not everybody wants everything included in the price. They want choice. So Emerald Cruises was brought into the market. It's not so inclusive as Scenic. You don't have the door-to-door transfer, the butler service you don't have, except on the top suite. And so it's a little bit different. Ships are beautifully designed. Tipping's included on both Scenic and Emerald. Don't forget that. I forgot to mention. So tipping is included on both cruise lines. So a lot of people say, why a river cruise? So I kind of mentioned that at the start. You unpack once, you get close to the destination as well. So you're not stuck on, you know, like little boats to get you to places and stuff like that. So it really does make a difference. Now, Emerald also includes a tour every day, but there is optionals that you can purchase on board the ship. They still have that window design, you know, like Scenic, where the window goes up and down. Great for having a wee drink and celebrating, cruising through wonderful towns. Also great for photography. And remember, you need to take most of them have USB points now, so you just need to remember to take your charging cable with you to charge your phones, cameras, etc. So they have a few ships now. They have the Rhine, Main, Danube rivers covered. Brand new ship coming. Well, obviously that's coming this year now, but it was ready for sailing in late 21. So the Emerald Luna will start doing the Rhine, Main, Danube rivers. The Rhone and the Saône, the Emerald Liberty, the Emerald Radiance does the Douro. That's what I did that with Jane McDonald, which Miles mentioned at the start there. And then we also do Asia. So don't forget the Mekong River. Scenic also do it. Beautiful Vietnam and Cambodia as well, if you want to look more. So you can see it's a little bit differently designed inside. So welcome on board one of our Emerald Starships, they call them. This is a Horizon Bar and Lounge. This is where most people will come of an evening. There's a little dance floor there. The dance floor tends to be quite quiet on the first night, but when people start to get comfy, you know, more relaxed, and then everyone seems to go up and have a little bit of a dance and just enjoy the ambience of all. Coffee machines up the back of the lounge there as well, make wonderful lattes, etc. So you get your Reflections restaurant as your main restaurant on board. So it doesn't have the little offshoots like Scenic does. So you get your beer, wine, and soft drinks normally with lunch and dinner. So Scenic include drinks all the time. Emerald's a little bit different. So it's just what choice, but there is drinks packages. So a drinks package on Emerald starting from roughly €13 per person per day for beer and wine and soft drinks. If you want to drink more spirits or cocktails, etc., around €23 per person per day, which I think is still wonderful value.
On an award-winning Emerald Waterways river cruise, you can expect great dining experiences from start to finish. Your cruise begins with a welcome dinner where you can meet your fellow guests and ends with a farewell dinner where you can share memories with newfound friends. Our chefs prepare meals of the highest quality, ensuring that the menus showcase the fantastic cuisine Europe has to offer. In Reflections Restaurant, start your day with a hot and cold buffet breakfast, while at lunch you can choose from an array of appetizers, main course choices, and a collection of sweet treats at the dessert table. In the evening, we invite you to be our guest at a 4-course dinner, serving delicious international and regional specialty dishes. To accompany lunch and dinner, we've carefully chosen a special selection of European red and white wines, local beers, and soft drinks, all of which are included in the price of your cruise. When the weather's warm, you can choose to dine on the terrace, and after a day of sightseeing, how about relaxing with afternoon tea in the Horizons Lounge with freshly baked cakes and pastries? Plus, with Emerald Waterways, you can enjoy complimentary tea and coffee at all times throughout your cruise.
There we are. So that gives you an idea. So at the front of the ships, they have this little area where you can sit and relax, dine al fresco, have a lovely lunch out there, coffee, beer or a wine, and just enjoy the view all around you. So it's a great area at the very front of the starships. You have the sun deck as well. So this is similar to Scenic. You have that walking track. They do yogas. So they have Emerald Active as well, where they have the yoga, the Pilates. We have trekking, walking tours, all sorts of wonderful things. They also have water aerobics, which I'll mention shortly too. The spa and wellness, similar to Scenic, you have to pay extra for, sorry, it's extra for the, like massage, etc. And then the suites on board. So they are a little bit differently designed. This is the Emerald Stateroom. This is your lead-in category, and beautifully appointed once again, all en suite in there. Great duvets, etc. So extremely comfortable. And then you have the panorama balcony suite, similar design to Scenic, where the window goes up and down. But you'll notice the balcony it's a little bit different. The space that you sit on is within the cabin itself. And when you empty your suitcase, don't forget to put the bags under the beds, because there's space for it, so you're not walking over your luggage. All that is there for you as well. And they don't have the GPS device. They have a normal listening device when you go out with the guides, but plenty of clothing space in there to hang everything. Lovely shower areas as well, toiletries. We're going more towards reusable plastic bottles because of the environment, which is very important. So you'll notice that you usually get a water bottle as well that you can keep, and it saves you using plastics all the time. I think that's very important going forward. The grand balcony suite is another style of a suite on board. It can separate the balcony, and obviously larger as well. And an espresso machine in here, so you don't have to go to the lounge to get your coffee and tea. That can be done within your suite. And then you have the owner's one bedroom, which are beautiful. You got a lounge area separate. You can separate the bedroom from the lounge, a walk-in wardrobe, and a lovely balcony to sit and enjoy the views of the European river cruises that we do. And concierge service in the owner's one bedroom, so they'll come and do pre-dinner canopies, etc. So, and there's always guidebooks as well of the rivers, a great keepsake for when you come home. And they have a pool inside the ship on most of the rivers except the Douro. And this is lovely. It's a great area. And this is where they do some water aerobics as well. And it's got a retractable sunroof. And in the evening, it becomes something a little bit different.
Unlike other river cruise lines on Europe's waters, Emerald Waterways' brand new boutique ships boast a heated pool with a retractable roof and a bar, creating a beautiful onboard oasis for you to relax in whatever the weather. On selected evenings, the pool area inventively transforms into a cinema with comfy lounge chairs, where you can enjoy classic films and recent releases, taking onboard entertainment in a completely different direction. So, if you're not in the mood to enjoy the bar or ready to retreat to your room, the cinema is a great place to spend your evening.
How good is that? What an ingenious design. So that's it changing. That's what it looks like of an evening. And on some alternate evenings, it becomes just a quiet area for a coffee. If you don't want to sit and listen to the entertainment at night in the lounge, and look at the size of the popcorn. So you'd be quite happy sitting there enjoying a movie. So gourmet dining on board, wine, beer and soft drinks, as I've mentioned, most excursions included. You've got your transfers, obviously, from the airport to the ship. The Wi-Fi is included as well, and bottled water, and also tips are taken care of as well. So the rivers, not so many rivers as Scenic, but obviously when they build more ships, they'll move into that, because we're building ships all the time, which is great. Douro, south of France into Lyon and do all that region. The Beaujolais wine region is just absolutely beautiful. Down to Arles as well. Arles is fantastic. It's got second biggest Roman amphitheatre outside of the Colosseum. It's a wonder to see. I didn't know it existed until I visited there. Amsterdam to Switzerland is another wonderful itinerary. I'm going to show you a video on that shortly. It doesn't have any talking through it, but it's a nice visual feast on that. And then it's very similar. the Rhine, the Danube, and down obviously the lower Danube as well, down towards the Black Sea. So some great itinerary options there. And this is Budapest again. This is the chain bridge. This is a wonderful place. You can just walk around all this great markets as well. And there's the Rhine. This is what you're going through, the Rhine Gorge, the castles, how close you are. You're actually so close, you can wave at people as you're going by. It just is wonderful. Robes and slippers provided as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention all that. But this is a nice video of the Amsterdam to Switzerland itinerary, the Rhine Heights. It's just nice to see what kind of imagery you will see on that river. One of my favourites. Another one in the south of France. I always like to put a couple of images in. The Pont du Gard, not too far from Avignon, over 2,000-year-old Roman viaduct, incredible. And you'll see a lot of this on the France itineraries as well, because obviously the Romans were quite involved in that area. Just to the left of this is a cafe. I would recommend go and get yourself a nice latte or whatever coffee you like, and just sit and look at that wonderful piece of architecture. So there we are. Obviously, health and safety for Scenic and Emerald. We do require tests before like proof of vaccine before you go on board. Protocols are all looked after. We have been sailing since last August. So we're becoming quite experienced, but we're always about health and safety anyway. The safety of the air coming in fresh continuously from the outside as well. The team has all been trained up, so it's all about the peace of mind when you travel on our river cruising ships. So there we are. So I'm just going to mention quickly Emerald Cruises, the ultra exclusive offer with Miles Morgan Travel. So just some deals here for you. So you've got the Majestic Rhine, which is the one of the ones we just looked at there, 3,045 for the two per couple. Holland and Belgium, if you like all that, all the wonderful flowers, etc. in Belgium and Holland, 2,845 for two. And the Jewels of the Rhine is the one we just seen on the video there for two, from 2,745 as well. And remember, a couple of these itineraries can also be done by train from London St Pancras on the Eurostar, which a lot of people like. Another nice one at the bottom there, 5-day Christmas time on the Rhine. How beautiful. Lots of hot wine and lots of lovely times from 2,215 per couple. There we are, Miles. I hope that was okay. I'm just going to bring the video screen back up. I hope you're still there. I hope I haven't been talking to myself.
I know you're okay. I was still very good. Thank you very much. Let me just see. I'll keep an eye on the questions in the chat. So do ask questions if you want them. A couple from me. So Just so we're absolutely clear, and I know holiday companies, cruise lines don't like talking and nailing themselves to particular star ratings, but in general, Scenic is kind of a 5-star product, and Emerald is what, a 4? Where roughly do you see them?
Yeah, well, yeah, people, I think Scenic likes to think we're 6 or 7. Well, I kidding. But so 5-star, yeah, because of the fully inclusive. I would say the Emerald style and everything is maybe 5-star, but the inclusions are 4, you know, because you have to, there's extra things that you have to do if you want to, but both very, Emerald's a wee bit different looking, a wee bit more modern, contemporary, whereas Scenic's more traditional in a way, still lovely and stream, but it's not like chandeliers and all. It's quite a streamlined thing. Karen designs all the ships. Miles Glenn's wife, so she has a lovely job.
And would people see any different in like the dress codes and things like that between Scenic and Emerald?
No, it's quite similar of an evening. So yeah, it's not, you know, you don't have to wear the bow ties or it's just quite casual. A lot of men will wear a blazer of an evening, and ladies will wear a nice dress. But during the day, very casual.
So people, when they're deciding on a river cruise, then they should be looking, obviously itinerary is probably the first port of call, but then once they've got down to the debate about, Scenic or an Emerald, the difference, obviously the biggest difference is the inclusions.
Yeah.
In terms of the standards, very high standards on Emerald, superstar standards on Scenic. Is that kind of where it is?
Yeah, probably, yeah. But the crew, I mean, we always get a rating at the end of every cruise, and the crew is just so high, you know, so both, that's both, you know, Scenic and Emerald, so very high rating. Food also rates extremely high as well. So they're very similar in a lot of ways, but it's just the inclusions. As I mentioned, I think Glenn and Karen decided that not everybody wants everything. They want to maybe make choices. So that was why it was brought into the market.
Yeah, I know what it's like, you know, your head's full of all the different options, and it's trying to decide as a customer, you know, you've got price considerations, then you've got standard considerations, then you've got the itinerary. So that's good. I think we've kind of framed that. That's good.
Yeah.
Anne's got a question for you. She says, are all the rooms for a maximum of 2 people, or is there any flexibility to have 3 people in a cabin? Good question.
No, it's only 2. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll change that in the future, but at the moment, it is a 2 maximum.
So that's just based on the size of the cabin, so you don't have any pull downs or anything like that. It literally is.
No, nothing like that. Yeah, there is a couple of single suites as well on board the ships, and there's also some single deals, so you can keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question for me. Guests on board. Are we going to see 100% Brits on board? Are we going to see mixed nationalities? What sort
at the moment, probably UK, but Australia's opening. So we are an Australian company from Sydney, just north of Sydney. So I think that will start to come more of a mixture again, and Canadian as well. Yeah, quite.
So
we have offices in Canada.
If you travel in the early part of this summer, you're likely to have a lot of British people around you. Once other countries open up, which you're right, we can see it all. Canada's been open for a while. Australia now has announced as well, so we will see the mix change. No.
And some of the US market as well. They kind of stopped a little bit there, but I think they're starting to come back as well. Yeah.
Now I have to say to you now, and you've got to be honest with me now. Claire is on this Zoom. Is she related in any way to you? Before I actually say what she's going to say, William. Do you know Claire Rexworthy, or are you going to say you don't?
No.
Okay, because Claire says, we went on an Emerald cruise a few years ago. I can honestly say the service was exceptional. Rooms fantastic. Dining experience, food was phenomenal. Dress very casual in the day and in an evening smart. All excursions and walking tours were very informative. Well, you didn't need to say anything, William. It's all done for you. Claire's done it for you.
No, I'll send the check to Claire. What's the address, Claire?
But it's great, you know, we often have this on, you know, people that have experienced the product. It's great for people to share their experiences, and also it doesn't always have to be, it was absolutely blew my mind. It's pointers that help people in terms of their decision making that we like. You're a man that's done a lot of this sort of stuff, so I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to pick a river for people to try, what would your favourite be?
All of them. Let me see.
Come on, I said you could only pick one.
The south of France, stunning. The architecture and all that. Now the Douro is not on the deals. It's the normal, well, whatever the deals are with it, but probably the Douro as well for scenery. It was absolutely stunning, and Amsterdam to Switzerland as well. And the Moselle, not many ships go into the Moselle, so that's another highlight, which is beautiful as well. And they're all, and the Danube is stunning, especially the Wachau Valley.
I've got to be honest, you've been super sneaky there. You've managed to mention about 7 rivers then in one answer when I said, no, you've got to nail yourself down to 1. And I think you mentioned 7.
I like Russia as well.
And talk to me about customers at the moment. What are the trends with customers? Which rivers are you seeing there's real demand for with customers at the moment?
Yeah, rivers at the moment, Danube and the Bordeaux is an interest. That Bordeaux seems to have taken off quite a lot. And obviously the Douro is always a popular, because the thing with the Douro is it's limited numbers. The ships are small. So you're only maybe a 96 passengers as opposed to the 160 area. So the Douro tends to, it's much smaller ships there.
But that's a lovely experience with only a maximum 96 people, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, definitely.
Okie doke. Well, you've done very well because I can't see any other questions. So, I mean, what I would say to people is, the offers that we've got there that you can actually see on the screen there, they are amazing, and we are selling lots every single day now since this offer came on. It's been, in fact, actually, again, Willie and I were talking before the Zoom started. They have been in meltdown on their telephone lines with travel agents trying to get through to book these offers because they are so amazing. It's not something that we've ever seen before. I'm not sure you've seen anything like this in your 13 years, have you, in terms of prices?
No, it's just went, I don't know how to say it. What is the word for it? Crazy.
Yeah. So what I would say is very often you will hear holiday companies, cruise lines say, oh yes, our offer is the most amazing offer you've ever seen. But what I can say about this one that's on at the moment, you probably will never ever see this again. It is COVID specific offer. And as we come out of COVID completely, the prices will go back to the ones that you see on the screen there, the original prices, because Scenic and Emerald sell very well anyway. And the only reason they're doing what they're doing at the moment, and without putting words in William's mouth, a lot of their customers come from Australia. They're not coming at the moment, so they need to fill the berths, and us Brits can take advantage of the amazing deals as a result, really. Would that be fair?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'm going to Australia in 2 weeks, so I'll see how they're all feeling over there.
Are you going with Jane McDonald again?
No, I'm going to see my son in Melbourne. So
Very good. Well, look, thank you very much, William, for the presentation. Fantastic. If you want any of these amazing price cruises, then obviously contact your local shop. But if you've got a particular date or itinerary that you fancy, I suggest you do it very quickly because they are selling very, very fast because of simply the prices for one and the quality of the other. It's always I always think a winning combination when you've got a fantastic product and amazing price. What's not to love about that, really? So, William, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody for joining the Zoom. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you'll be on a Scenic and Emerald cruise pretty soon. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Thanks, Miles. Thanks all. Thanks. Bye. Don't know how to switch it down. Okay.